Till now, always gonna be on my own.
Here's my hot take. Most female singers age better than male singers, or they know when to call it quits before it gets awful on stage. However, some women try to defy age for too long and hang on to their heydays. That's why today we're talking about 10 female singers who should seriously consider stepping away right now. I hope you'll agree after watching this video. Seeing these musicians live on stage no longer feels inspiring. It feels uncomfortable.
You don't need diamond rings or 18-karat gold. Keep your lights on.
Madonna has always made a point of defying age. For decades, that attitude powered her reinventions and kept her ahead of the curve. But the cracks became impossible to ignore in 2019 when she performed Like a Prayer at the Eurovision Song Contest and drifted noticeably out of tune. It felt less like provocation and more like a warning. Fast forward to the Celebration tour in 2023 and 2024, and that warning turned into a pattern. In widely shared clips from London, Paris, and New York, large sections of songs are spoken rather than sung, shortened to avoid strain or even buried beneath backing tracks. Her breath control is inconsistent, and melodies disappear behind choreography and production. Fans argue Madonna has always been about spectacle, but even loyal supporters admit the vocals are no longer the focus. Critics rarely discuss how she sounds anymore. They discuss everything around her. Madonna already changed pop forever. If she's considering touring again in 2026, let's say this: please, Madonna, don't do it.
I see you through the smoky air. Can't you feel the weight of the stairs? Till now, always gonna be on my own.
Ann Wilson's performances with Heart throughout the early 2020s show a clear and measurable shift. In recent live recordings of Barracuda and Crazy on You, the signature high notes are avoided, lowered, or completely restructured. Sustained phrases are shortened, and climactic moments are often redirected to the band or backing vocals. You can hear the effort in her delivery, especially as sets progress and stamina fades. This decline isn't happening in isolation. Wilson has spoken openly about health struggles, including cancer remission, injuries, and the physical toll of touring. Fans remain respectful, but increasingly honest. Many say she is still good, just not Ann Wilson good anymore. Heart's catalog is unforgiving. It's demanding range, it's demanding power and stamina, something time eventually takes from everyone. Watching Ann now doesn't feel embarrassing. It feels heavy, like watching someone carry decades of expectation while carefully protecting what remains of her voice for longtime fans everywhere.
Don't you want someone to care about you? What about now? Don't let it slip away, yeah, yeah. I can feel something inside yourself.
Cher's recent live appearances, including special event performances in 2024 and 2025, show how dramatically the focus has shifted away from singing itself. In widely circulated clips, backing vocals dominate entire choruses. Meanwhile, Cher delivers selected lines, often spoken or lightly sung to avoid strain. Sustained notes are rare, and melodies are frequently simplified just to survive the performance. That shift feels especially ironic when you remember that Cher is credited as the first major artist to popularize auto-tune, using it boldly on Believe in 1998. At the time, it was a creative effect, a futuristic choice that reshaped pop music, but it also changed how audiences assessed her singing. Over the years, technology blurred the line between vocal ability and production. Now, with the raw voice exposed live, the contrast is start. Fans still attend for the costumes, humor, and larger-than-life persona. Critics rarely analyze her vocals anymore, focusing instead on spectacle and legacy. When the music becomes secondary, something fundamental has changed.
Rose and flows of angel hair.
Joni Mitchell's rare performances in the 2020s, including her widely shared 2025 benefit appearance, were emotional but revealing. Her phrasing is cautious, notes crack, and entire melodies are reshaped simply to survive on stage. Sustained lines are avoided, and timing slows noticeably as she navigates physical limitations. Fans didn't criticize. They applauded because she made it through the song. That reaction matters. When applause shifts from musical achievement to endurance, the meaning of the performance changes entirely. Joni's voice, once fluid and fearless, is now fragile. Every appearance looks physically demanding, requiring visible concentration and restraint throughout. Watching her sing now is moving, but also uncomfortable for many viewers. She has nothing left to prove, and no legacy left to defend publicly. Her oeuvre already lives forever. Returning to the stage doesn't strengthen her story. It risks closing it on a note of visible struggle rather than the artistic brilliance that defined her career.
And still somehow it's life's illusion.
The landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love?
Now, have you actually watched Stevie Nicks on stage lately? If not, there's a reason. Not long ago, she spent weeks confined to bed after a serious shoulder fracture. Dealing with constant pain and unable to perform, she was forced to delay several solo tour dates. That's not a small hiccup. It's the writing on the wall. Yes, she'll always be linked to Fleetwood Mac, but this conversation is about her solo work, and lately it feels increasingly delicate. In footage from her 2024 and 2025 arena shows, songs like Dreams, Gypsy, and Rhiannon are slowed down. Keys are lowered, and entire phrases are regularly handed to backing singers. Stevie often remains planted at the microphone. Fans noticed immediately. People aren't just seeing a concert anymore. They're watching someone endure physical strain. It feels fragile and increasingly uncomfortable to watch. Stevie has already given us everything. Why not stop here?
If you see my reflection in my snow-covered, you know it goes the perfect ending to the bad day. I was just beginning.
Sheryl Crow's live performances from 2023 through 2025 show a noticeable drop in vocal energy compared to her peak years. Songs that once sounded loose and vibrant now feel restrained, carefully paced, and vocally cautious throughout entire sets. It's like the high notes are softened, dynamics are flattened, and climactic moments often fail to land with impact anymore. Fans still enjoy seeing her, but many comments describe the shows as pleasant rather than powerful or emotionally gripping experiences. Critics praise her songwriting legacy and longevity, yet rarely highlight standout vocal moments anymore. That silence changes the question entirely. It's no longer about whether Sheryl Crow can still perform, but whether she needs to. She's earned the freedom to step away from touring and redirect her energy into things like writing, producing, and mentoring, without forcing herself into a live format that no longer plays to her strengths. Debbie Harry's recent performances with Blondie raise an uncomfortable question. Should she finally retire? The band toured in 2024, but there were no Blondie shows in 2025 and nothing has been announced for 2026. No more Blondie? The band has effectively been without original guitarist Chris Stein on stage since 2019, and longtime drummer Clem Burke's passing in April this year removed a core pillar of the band. Harry herself has expressed hesitation about continuing without the classic lineup. Watching late-era performances, the answer feels clear. Live clips from the 2020s show thin vocals, reduced range and energy carefully rationed from song to song. High notes are avoided and tempo slowed. Songs that once felt dangerous now feel managed. Fans still cheer, but the urgency is gone. Like with the other musicians in this video, Debbie Harry has nothing left to prove. Continuing risks turning Blondie into a reenactment, not a living band.
Don't you wanna take her? You wanna make
Not everybody may know her, but Doro Pesch stands as one of the original pioneers of female heavy metal. This is a genre that forgives nothing and exposes decline instantly. Recent festival appearances make it clear that time has caught up with her voice. What was once a clean, commanding power metal delivery now sounds worn with strain creeping in across full sets. Certain notes are avoided entirely, others approached with caution, and longer vocal lines often fracture before they reach the end. Footage from European metal festivals shows her constantly managing breath, visibly pacing herself just to complete each song. Longtime fans notice immediately, and online discussions reflect that honesty. Even loyal supporters quietly acknowledge the change. There is toughness in her sound, but exhaustion sits right beneath it. Doro secured her place in metal history decades ago. Continuing to push forward now risks shifting admiration into concern for everyone. Watching Joan Jett live in recent years has been genuinely difficult for me. Festival performances from 2023 and 2024 show how much her voice has thinned over time. In widely shared clips of I Love Rock and Roll, often filmed at outdoor festivals and state fairs, choruses are shouted rather than sung, with the crowd carrying most of the hook. High notes crack, phrasing rushes, and pitch drifts as the set goes on. By the final songs, she shortens lines just to get through them. Fans on site still cheer, but online reactions are far more honest. Many say she sounds strained and vocally spent. This is the same woman who powered through the Runaways as a teenager and later fronted Joan Jett and the Blackhearts with raw authority. Punk never required perfection, but it demanded command. When the voice can't lead anymore, attitude alone isn't enough.
There's no need for anger. There's no need for blame. There's nothing to prove.
Joan Baez is a different case, and that distinction matters. Unlike many artists on this list, she actually chose to stop. Her Fare Thee Well farewell tour in 2019 was an open admission that her voice could no longer sustain full concerts. Baez had already spoken publicly about losing her upper register and struggling with pitch control. It was something longtime fans clearly heard during those final shows. The performances were emotional, dignified, and sincere, but also fragile and limited. Since then, she has largely stayed off the road, appearing only occasionally at benefit events or special tributes.
Queen, I forsake the cause.
Georgia and 52 gypsies.
In those rare appearances, the limitations are obvious. Careful phrasing, reduced range, and visible effort behind every line. Audiences aren't applauding vocal performance anymore. They're applauding her legacy. Joan Baez understood that difference. She stepped away before the struggle defined her, preserving her legacy instead of forcing it forward unnecessarily for anyone.
Que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la marcha de mis pies cansados.
So yeah, this concludes our video about female musicians. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but it matters. It raises a bigger question. Is there a difference between aging female singers and aging male singers when it comes to quitting the stage? When struggle outweighs music, something shifts. What do you think? Let's talk in the comments.
This life's